Well, good afternoon. It is noon and it's Thursday. So this is Coffee with Ralph, and I'm Ralph Gale. I'm your host. I am the founder of Fireproof Financial Group. And for the last month, I guess, I've been talking about this thing called long-term care. And yet again this week, meeting with a potential client, I I'm at a loss. Sitting there, we're talking about it, and I get notified via email that they're going to stay where they're at because the advisor they have says that paying for care in the future isn't something they need to worry about, and how they get their care and who does their care isn't really important because, well, the family's going to do that. And if you've been with me for the last month, you've heard me talk about the emotional and the physical and the financial strains that this puts on our family members or our loved ones that are going to provide care for us, because face the facts need to be faced every day. And that is, our family is going to help us, and that's why we call them family, and we're blessed to have them. But they shouldn't be doing it in sacrificing their retirement, their health, their physical well-being, their families, to take care of us. That's not fair. So today, I thought I'd delve into the real cost. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Let's dissect what long-term care really looks like financially for one of us. And then, while I'm thinking about it, why don't we double it just in case our spouse needs care after we're passed, or same time. Let's just be honest about things. Sometimes it's both of us. And you know what? I'm blessed to have a beautiful wife that loves me and will help take care of me too. And obviously I'll help take care of her. Well, let's dive into this thing of cost. I need to share my screen with you because I want to use this window. There we go. We're up. We're sharing our screen right there where you see where I'm at. This is Genworth Insurance Company. It's called the Aging in You, Financing and the Cost of Care. If you want it, it's right there. Copy the screen, take a screenshot, go to this one. I want you to look with me right now, and you'll see in Grand Rapids area that, well, we've got to separate these a little bit. Let's talk about the in-home care for a few minutes here. In-home care. Yeah, there's two sections to that. One is the homemaker services, and by all rights, that's probably something our families might help us with some. But the home health aide, that's somebody to come in and do the medical stuff. IVs and bandages and physical therapy and occupational and voice therapy, all those things that need to be medical. The cost of care is calculated down here at 44 hours a week. So that's, well, there you go. 40 hours a week, works 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. But typically we do 7 days a week. So we're really talking about 6 hours a day between for homemaker services and home health care. That leaves a whole lot of time we're out there flopping in the breeze a little bit. But if you look at that, that's nearly $10,000 a month now. Today. I don't need care today. Let's jump out here 10 years from now. Now, I'm going to tell you that I'm 66, so 10 years is about 19, I'll be 76. And well, that's when they say this portion of our care starts kicking in, which lasts a couple of years. Typically, we stay at home for a couple of years. Well, I want to reset this out. And you notice that it's gone from about 10,000 to about 13,000 in that 10-year period. That's a month, by the way. Here's your annual cost. to stay at home is gonna cost us $115,000. Now, let's be, a little bit realistic about that. If we're needing that much care, odds are we're probably gonna move to assisted living where somebody's around 24 hours a day and can step in and help us, right? Well, let's say we stay at home for just 1 year and we don't pay for any of this homemaker services because that's our family. The medical home health care aid could cost you $115,000 a year. But let's knock that down. Let's say that's only 20 hours a week. 4 hours a day, 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, 21. Let's make it 21. 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. Notice it changed my homemaker care service to reflect the same. We know that's not right. We know our family's going to be there whatever we need. But if I only need 21 hours of medical care a week, that's still $55,000 a year. So in 2 years, I've spent $110,000 or $115,000 for that care. I want you to notice up here, I'm gonna bounce back a little bit. You see, they said inflation at 3%. I wanna jump in there and tell you that the cost of care has outpaced inflation almost 2 to 1. So rather than 3% for inflation, we're really looking at 6, but they'll only let me go to 5. I recalculated, now you can see in 10 years, that's gonna cost me $66,000. 2 years, $130,000. So I spent home $130,000, stayed at home for 2 years, and then I moved to assisted living. Notice I have adult daycare. Well, sometimes that works, especially for a couple, especially if one's still working. They've got wonderful facilities that we can stay interactive with people our own age. I'm not sure I like the adult daycare idea, but just the way it sounds. Anyways, so let's jump over here to assisted living. Look at the cost of assisted living now, $66,000 a year in this area, and that's for apartment, right? And everything else is you pay for as you need, like pill management or bathing and cooking or all those other things, right? 2033, that's 107,000. What's it look like? I wonder if I can bump this up just 2 years. I haven't played with it that much. There you go. 2035. I've been at home 2 years for care. Now I'm in a facility. I'm up to $118,000 a year. Break that down monthly. Oh, it's only 10 grand. Everybody's budget can handle $10,000 a month, can it? So let's say we spend 2 years there. So we had 120,000 to stay at home, 130,000 to stay at home for 2 years. Now we're 118,000. So for 2 years of that, you're about $240,000. So now between home care, staying at home, and facility, I'm at $300 and some thousand, $370,000 for 4 years, just 4 years, guys, of taking care of myself or living in a community. So after that, let's be honest, the average length of care is a lot longer than we're putting here because Alzheimer's takes its time. It's now 7 to 10 years. But let's say this nursing home facility over here is really, let's call that a memory care unit. A nursing home facility, memory care unit. Is it going to be $227,000? Is it $126,000 a month now? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What's it going to be? It's 246. We got to go up here and go 2037. We're $200,000+. We stay there a year. We're 370 and 250. I don't know how to tell you that. That's over $500,000 we're going to pay for our care now. As an advisor. For me to look at a client and say, I'm not going to worry about it. You don't need to worry about it. We'll have Medicaid step in and take care of you. And yes, if you do things absolutely properly, you could get this nursing home facility paid for by Medicaid. But that means you divest yourself of all your money. You put it in an irrevocable trust, and then you go on Medicaid. I don't know about you. I don't want to be in a nursing home. I don't want my children to visit me in a nursing home. I'd rather stay at home. So let's just live there. Let's stay home. But you know, as I stay home, I'm going to need more help. So let's back that back up to the 40-hour work week. Now let's take a look at that and say, geez, is it that much difference if I stay at home or if I go to a facility? Honest to goodness, guys, it's less expensive if I move into a nice independent living, assisted living facility, and I take the stress off my family. But even that, I mean, if I spend 4 years in a facility and then pass away, I'm still over $400,000 here, guys. And by the way, a lot of the new facilities have end of days care and they have memory care. So, you know, if we need a little bit more than that, then okay. But as an advisor, to look at somebody and say to them, dead in the face, don't worry about it. When I'm staring at a $500,000 bill, hey, by the way, that's for one of us. And anybody in the long-term care field will tell you, I mean, now I'm talking about doctors and nurses, that those that take care of the chronically ill become chronically ill. Remember what I told you? There's a physical toll that our family pays. Well, if that family member that's going to help us is our spouse, going to pay that, going to take that abuse physically themselves. They're next. They will need care too. Will they need assisted living? Hey, listen, we're already there. Guess what? She's going to stay, or he's going to stay right where they're at, because that's the new home, right? It's going to happen that way. And yes, every facility cuts a break for a couple moving in. That doesn't mean the other one lives for free. It just means there's a reduced cost there. So if that's the whole cost and it's $400,000 for 4 years, what's it going to cost for mom or dad to stay there for the next couple of years or whatever until they pass on? I think what we have to talk about isn't the easy answer. The easy answer is I'm not going to worry about it. That's the ostrich who in the thunderstorm sticks his head in the sand to avoid being struck by lightning. He does that in the sand, in the desert. Guess what? He's probably still the tallest thing around. So lightning hits the tallest thing around. Isn't that funny? But if we don't think about it, we don't have to worry about it. If we don't have to worry about it, I can check it off my bucket list. This isn't something you can check off your bucket list. I want to talk just a minute because remember, I told you I'm 66, so we're talking 10 years. What if you're 56? You're looking at 20 years. Hey guys, these are the people that I've been talking to. This couple I was talking to, he's 55, she's 52, and he said, don't worry about it. All right, let's add 20 years. That'll make him 75. $200,000 for home health care aid, $82,000 a month, excuse me, annually. So at 75, he says, I'm going to move into assisted living. That's wonderful. It's $175,000 a year. I'm gonna spend 4 years there. I'm spending 680, 90, sorry, $700,000. Nope, I'm not doing my math right. 150, 600, nope, $700,000. $700,000 to stay in a facility or an assisted living until we pass. Assuming, of course, that she passes about the same time I pass. She's not gonna move out. He's not gonna move out. They're gonna stay there. Remember what I said? That's per one person. 2 people, it's a little bit more than that. So to all those people that are 55, 45 to 55, and you're looking at 30 years, I want to really frighten you. You're $285,000 a year for assisted living. That's $1 million, guys, that you'll need for your care. Now, if you're a multimillionaire, $1 million is no big deal. But if you're blue collar, or even white collar and middle income, middle upper income, that's a bunch of bucks. And to say, I'm not going to worry about it, we're setting ourselves up for a situation where we're going to be at the mercy of family members who, yes, in all intention, have your best interest in mind at heart, and they're going to do what they think is best. Remember, we've been talking about setting down all the parameters for my care. At what point do I move into a facility after I stay at home for a while? Is it when I reach the same amount equal to a home health care aid before I say, no, I'm gonna move over here? I'm gonna move to a facility where I don't have to pay the travel time for them to and come. Hey, yeah, by the way, that is the way it works. If you hire a home health care aide, you get to pay for transfer time too. That time it takes them to get from the office to your house and back. I won't stop preaching on this. This is my stump and I'm standing on it. If this isn't prepared for, you are asking for trouble. You are asking to have your butt handed to you in a basket. You're asking to eliminate all the assets, spend all the assets that you spent your whole life developing and adding to and building to take care of you when you're sick and old. But let me ask you, and I think this is where I'll end today, because it's just a conscious, it's a conscious thought. I insure my house. Yeah, if it's $1 million and I'm a multimillionaire, I could probably pay to have it rebuilt, but I insure it against something that probably will never happen. I have car insurance to insure my cars in case they get rammed into by somebody or totaled in an accident. Why? I could probably pay for it if it got crashed and totaled. It's called OP, other people's money. I'm paying them a little bit to protect me for a whole lot. So why doesn't it make sense to pay a little bit a month or a year or a percentage of your asset base to protect you for a whole lot? Why aren't we using insurance or insurance programs to leverage our money to pay for this thing called, I don't even want to call it care now. Let's just call it aging in place. I mean, just yesterday, I've worked on my cars my whole life. Yesterday, I had to get down the ground just to put a clip back in on a door panel that I'd taken off. Yeah, that was fun. Getting up wasn't as easy as it was 20 or 30 years ago. And a cold concrete, that didn't feel as good as it did 20 or 30 years ago. So, I don't think I'll be doing that again. So do I need care? No, not yet. Will I need care? Probably. Do I have this looked at prepared for. I thought I did. Now I'm looking at these figures going, I ain't got enough. I need to change this. I need to upgrade it. I've been doing this my whole life. I'd use this program to look for other people. And then I went, well, yeah, but I'm looking way out. What about just 10 years from now? Do I have enough to cover? And I'm like, maybe for one. What about my wife? She's gonna outlive me probably. She'll need it too. Hey guys, this has been Coffee with Ralph. I want you to remember something. Coffeewithralph.com is a free 15-minute call. Let us start the conversation about needing care, about how we pay for it, about how we affect our families, about what we're going to do. Because after all, yeah, you're right. You worked hard, you saved hard, you've got the money to live through retirement as long as we don't need care. So let's talk about how we can leverage what you have to pay for what we're going to need. Not, you notice I didn't say if it happens. It's a win. It's a win. It's going to happen. Major cause of Alzheimer's now is age. Physical disability, age. And we're great at working longer and harder. Doctors are great at keeping us alive longer. Coffeewithralph.com. Free 15-minute phone call for me. I want you all to have a great week. God bless, and we'll see you.